Namaste, Vanakkam, Namaskaram, and a very blessed morning to all of creation. Let us close our eyes and concentrate on that very heartbeat, which is unconditional love, as I commence with the opening prayer. Om. 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 ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ भूर्भुवस्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम् गणनां त्वां गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनाहुपवस्त्रवस्त्रनं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणां ब्रह्मणस्पत आनन् शृण्वन्नोतिविस्तिगसादनं प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजे विर्वाजनीवती दीनामविद्ययवतु गणेशाय नमः सरस्वत्यै नमः श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरि ओम् शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Thank you.
Usisileleni Afrika, maluparadisu ponolayo, Kiswahili jana soyetu, Usisilelena China, lusapolwayo, Murena huluka sichama sa Yesu, Usibuluke, si chamasa, Yesu, si chamasa, South Africa, South Africa. जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मङ्गलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
शुभ स्वागतम् माता स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् माता स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् आनन्द मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् आनन्द मङ्गलम् मङ्गलम् नित्यप्रियम् भारत भारतम् स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् माता स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम् माता स्वागतम् शुभ स्वागतम्
Namaste, Vanakkam, Namaskaram, and welcome to this very, very special day, the 75th Independence Day of India. Thousands of Indians around the world will be commemorating this wonderful day, a day dedicated to democracy, and a day where we as South Africans, as people from the diaspora from Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, in fact, all the countries where Indians have settled, have acknowledged this wonderful day in all our lives. And why? Civilization has indicated the need for progress. And if any country that has exemplified this exceptionally well, it has been India. Today, I am joined by my co-host, Reggie Maestri, he and I are going to share this wonderful space of India's independence. Namaste, Reggie ji, and welcome to the program.
Namaste, Namaskaram, Vanakkam.
Reggie ji, today marks 75 years of India's independence. Can you tell us what does it mean for you today, and how do you think South Africans and people of Indian origin are feeling right now?
Yashika, having been in a country like South Africa with an apartheid system, we were felt and made to be very inferior in this country. And worst of all, India was put in a very bad light and poor light over the many years has it struggled towards its democracy and independence. It had climbed so far up the ladder in the world that today we are very, very proud of being Indians after all the struggle we have gone through. And I'd just like to speak a little about India's independence itself. Its theme for this year is Nation First, Always First, is a theme of India's Independence Day, which is significant as it commemorates the valor and the spirit of freedom fighters who fought for the independence of India from the British colonialism. Therefore, this day is recognized with national pride and honor. Prime Minister Modi had addressed the people from the Red Fort whilst hosting the Indian flag with great enthusiasm. Today is celebrated with much excitement and joy, and also with flag hosting across the world, and definitely with the Indian national anthem. Over to you, Yashika. What does it mean to you living in South Africa and being born here many, many generations, and yet you're patriotic? Why are you patriotic?
Well, I think for us South Africans, we regard as our country as our karma bhumi, a land in which we derive our activities. And India is our dharma bhumi. But essentially, it is one and the same dharti. It is one and the same earth. But what India has taught us, it's not only a day that is celebrated as a national holiday commemorating a nation's independence from the United Kingdom, but rather it's symbolically celebrating a time in which a country decided to stand up against colonialism and against the difficulties of struggle and strife. And we know that as South Africans, we understand the issues of sacrifice exceptionally well. You know, Reggie, we'd like to now go to a video clip that shares some very, very interesting clips about India and India's independence. So let's take a little look. Well, that was very interesting to note some of the facts behind India's Independence Day, and that it wasn't necessarily the independence, on the 15th of August in itself, but it took about a month before things were finalized. But I think, interestingly, Reggie, the 15th of August was also marked the end where the forces at World War II had surrendered to the Allied forces. So I suppose, Britain wanted to stake its claim once more by then, giving India its independence, quite late. And we also know that there were great heroes of India's liberation movement, people like Subhash Chandra Bose, etc., that was later acknowledged, for their bravery. And in fact, this year, Prime Minister Modi is doing something very unique. He's going to acknowledge some of the unsung heroes of India's
Wow.
struggle of many centuries. And I think it takes a great and brave leader, to do that. And talking about brave leaders, you have somebody very interesting that you're going to introduce to us.
Absolutely, absolutely. Up next is the president of World Hindu Foundation in South Africa. He is known for his server work in South Africa and internationally. A teacher, youth skills developer, and has traveled to participate in many of the functions abroad. Hindu thought and philosophy, it lives by a maxim: service to humanity is worship of God. Let us welcome a very remarkable man, Sri Pravesh Hurdin. Please join me.
Namaskar to all our respected friends throughout the world who are joining us through the various social platforms. A very warm and cordial welcome to you. On behalf of World Hindu Foundation of South Africa, I welcome you to this historic 75th independence anniversary of Bharat. It is certainly a very, very special occasion for all of us who, by some reason or the other, have some connection with Bharat Mata. World Hindu Foundation of South Africa is part of Vishwa Hindu Parishad International. Since the year 2012, World Hindu Economic Conferences and other forms of conferences in the form of women conferences, youth conferences have been taking place throughout the world in various capitals. And the purpose is to galvanize, to mobilize, to organize, to strengthen, and finally unite Hindus globally. To this end, we continue to foster and network with organizations across the world having similar aims and objectives and optimize in the following areas. That is knowledge, information, skills, finances, and materials and other forms of resources. We are very pleased that during this pandemic, in particular during the last 18 months, we have found various organizations from across the world assisting each other, and none other than Bharat itself, where we draw all our inspiration in so many levels, especially spiritually. So we want to encourage all Hindus and Hindu organizations throughout the world to come on board in order to achieve these objectives. So once again, on behalf of all of us here at World Hindu Foundation of South Africa, we welcome you to celebrate this momentous occasion of the 75th independence anniversary of Bharat Mata. Thank you very, very much, everybody. Namaskar.
Bahut dhanyavad, Pravesh ji. Thank you for those wonderful words of wisdom and also for inspiring our team today. Pravesh ji, one interesting fact is that today is very special. We are partnering up as the World Hindu Foundation with the Agastya Gurukulam from Bharat and America. And one of the fascinating aspects of this organization is to inculcate our Sanskriti, it's to inculcate our teachings and our education with young people throughout the world. Do you find in your life as a teacher, as also as a skills developer and teaching within the Sangh Parivar, that it's important to teach children their Sanskriti values from a young age?
Thank you, Yashika ji. Just a few thoughts on this very important point. You know, for a long time, Sanskrit and Sanskriti culture have been almost marginalized for various reasons. And we are fully aware of the various reasons. Come colonialism, come slavery, slave mentality, and so many other factors for many, many decades. I take my hat off to all these organizations, both from Bharat and from USA, as far as USA, spending all the time and effort in promoting this most ancient culture. You know, now this culture is needed more than ever. In fact, if you look at the challenges of the world, the solutions of them is within our culture. Now, had we been uh, promoting this at an earlier stage, how much of more solace we would have. But better late than never. And here we see these remarkable organizations with these remarkable people behind it that going full force in order for this particular culture of our Sanskriti culture in all its facets being promoted. So once again, we need to support these organizations, and in South Africa in particular, we need to set up such type of platforms, such types of schools amongst us while we move in this direction. So absolutely necessary, especially during this period of time and for our youth in the future. Yashika ji.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Praveshji. Thank you very much. So, up next, we have a dynamic woman. And being Women's Month, we believe that it's so important to have the balance between the male and female energy in our environment. And she's an amazing lady. She's a clinical psychologist, she's a businesswoman, she's well traveled, and an amazing sevadal in so many aspects. In fact, I have a lot to tell about her, but she will be sharing a little bit more about that herself. She is also a coordinator of the Friends of the BJP outside of India, and she is from Kenya. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome none other than our dear sister, Anita Ji Karambalkar.
Thanks, Yashika. To all the viewers listening to us, a very, very happy Independence Day. Today, as we celebrate and join hands in wishing the Soniki Chidiya, our Ma Bharati, a very happy 75 years of independence, the heart of every Indian, every OCIs, every NRIs, not only that, every citizen of Africa, the African continent. We join hands in this celebration of India's independence, Amrit Mahotsav. Mahabharati, also known as the Vishwaguru, a world leader who since the 17th century has been a key player in the world economy. As a leading exporter, spices, sugar, textile, handicraft, knowledge, one of the first country to adopt a money-based trade, the country wherein science was the way of daily living. Hence, be it astronomy, medicine, mathematics, architecture, you see it in modern science and modern society, and you will find its evidence in its culture, the scriptures, architects, the heritage, and even today, our day-to-day living. No doubt, our Soniki Chidiya had a share in the world trade which was about 24.5%, at par with the share of the entire European continent. Mahabharati has the pride of being the home of almost every religion in the world. It always walked its talk of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. A new world order is waiting. It's about time every Indian attained its rightful position of a Vishwaguru, a world leader, a world teacher who doesn't shy away from going back to its roots and embracing the holistic lifestyle. Vrikshavalli Amhasoyere, that is, take care and nurture the nature around you as they are your relatives of the ecosystem. This is the in-depth culture that Mahabharati shares. For that, it is what today's universe wants. We must abide by it and emerge as a stronger nation. Today, as we celebrate the 75 years of Ma Bharati's independence, the Amrit Mahotsav, I quote the brave son of the soil, Swatantra Veer Savarkarji. India, our very own motherland. To us Indians, she is everything, our life, our soul. The holy abode she is, where the gods in all their magnanimity reside. A heaven for one and all she is, a temple for our forefathers to abide. Oh, she's truly the god of love, abounding with blossom, fruits, and flowers. She is our might, she is our pride, she is the diamond mine. Dare anyone try to shackle her, we shall define her with our very own life. Bharat Mata ki jai, Vande Mataram. Yashika ji?
Thank you so much for those wonderful words of wisdom and for sharing this priceless gems for today, for India's 75th anniversary of its democracy. Now, Anita ji, I want to ask one question.
Yeah.
Mute.
Tell me.
You are in Kenya and you've been in the diaspora for quite a few years. What does it mean for you being outside of India? For you, for your friends and sisters and brothers in Tanzania, etc. Can you share with us what does it mean for you?
It means to the world. It's not only means to me, Yashika ji. As an Indian, I am an NRI out here. And my consultancy, being a clinical psychologist and an industrial psychologist, makes me interlink and interact with many of the government offices. You wouldn't believe half the parliament of Kenya have done their education in India. When you interact with them, most of them have come from Maharashtra, from the Punjab University, from the JNU University. The pride that they feel about how India today has made their life and assisted them in contributing to Kenya's development, Kenya's empowerment. Believe me, it gives goosebumps. There is not a single Indian in Kenyan that I have met who has gone to India and has studied, is always short of words in appreciation for India and its culture. Although the people out here are more of the non-vegetarian type, but they have praises for the vegetarian food. They don't like much of spice, but believe me, whether it's the masala dosa, whether it's the paratha, in their own way, they really relish it.
Absolutely, that sounds actually magical and really, really wonderful.
Very, very true, very true.
Thank you, Anita ji. Thank you so much for sharing a little bit about the taste of Bharat outside of Bharat.
Pleasure is all mine too. Thank you. Wish you all a very happy Independence Day.
Same to you. So up next, Reggie ji is with me, and we are going to introduce a very, very special person. And before we introduce her, I just wanted to share a little bit. You know, in today's society, it's very difficult to go back to authentic teaching. We find that difficulty in Africa with the indigenous knowledge systems. And yet there are institutes that are pioneering the way back to the Vedas. In fact, they are teaching discipline, they are teaching dedication, they are teaching and joining us to decolonize our Indian history, because for too long, for many, many centuries, we've not had the opportunity of having this type of teaching come to us. So Reggie ji, please introduce our next speaker from the august and iconic Agastya Gurukulam. Reggie ji, you're muted.
Indeed, we are so privileged to meet with dedicated teachers of this unique curriculum or institute that was initiated in the United States. She has a postgraduate in social work and is a trained behavioral therapist for children and is currently working at the Agastya Gurukulam as a program manager. She is the point of contact for many Hindu institutes needing to link up with this iconic institute and to maximize Indian families across the globe. She's none other than a wonderful speaker, dynamic person, Anamakita Tiwari.
Namaste. Dhanyavad Reji ji. Myself Anamika Tiwari, and thank you for inviting me today. Independence Day with all of you.
Anamika ji, please open your camera.
It is open. It is open.
We can't see it. Which device are you using? Just check your device. Because you are in the stream, but we are not able to see you. I think there's a Anamika ji, you are alive, but your video is not open. We're not able to see you, but I think just continue with your introduction. We will just try to see what, I think you have two devices on. I can hear an echo. So is there a cell phone near you?
Yashika Bain, looks like there is some technical issue. Without wasting any much time, I would like to continue with our program.
Sure. Absolutely. So I think sometimes we need to go out and then come back in again. So perhaps Anamika will then join us in a little bit, in a little while. And you know, one of the things, she's one of the most amazing people in terms of coordinating this wonderful event. And she's been working with children, you know, for a very long time. So she's maximized Hindu families across the globe in order, you know, to come together for this particular day. So, Reji ji, I'm going to bring you into the studio. We have another very special guest, and he's from Kenya himself, but he's also going to be representing quite a few of the African countries. Would you like to share with us a little bit more about our guest? Reggie, you're muted.
Our next guest has an optical business. He's an optometrist. He has been the Kenyan president of BJP. He's been a municipal councillor in Kenya. He was past chairman of the Hindu Council of Kenya. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Vimalji.
I think there is also a technical problem on that side. He's not here. So I apologize for that. Dr. Vimal is from Kenya, as Reggie said. He's well known in the diaspora. We will now actually go to a video clip. So sorry, Reggie. We will come back with the children in a little while. and then we will continue with the program as we go forward. So let us play with the next video clip, which is a Geet, and it is from the Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh of South Africa, and that is a presentation by the president or the leader of the HSS in South Africa, Shri Amit Bhai Singh. All right. We do apologize. We now, Anamika ji, I just want to see whether you are able to come back on, so and then we can go into the video of the Gurukulam. Let's see.
Can you see me now, Yashika Ben?
No, unfortunately, you are
Looks
in the
like
StreamYard.
yes. Looks like a technical issue from the other side because the other guest also couldn't attend. So this is unfortunate, but let's continue.
Maybe you can share a little bit. I know it's an audio, but you can just share a little bit about the school while we hear your voice,
yes,
so that
for sure.
we can go to the video. Yes.
Absolutely. So Agastya Gurukulam is a non-profit organization, and we are based in USA and Bharat. And we have children studying part-time and at full-time Gurukulam from 8 different countries. And almost 200 plus children are studying at present. And it's a Sanskrit medium school, and it is registered organization in both the countries. And today we have a couple of children who prepared different activities to celebrate the 75th Independence Day with all of us. And I would also like to have a small video in which we have introduced Agastya Gurukulam as an organization. So I would request you to play that video, please. Dhanyavad.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
Agastya Gurukulam is the world's first online Sanskritam immersion school with an objective to revive the traditional Indian method of education.
Bharata was the destination for higher education for millennia, with an extensive network of universities, famously in places such as Nalanda, Takshashila, Vallabhi, Kanchi, and so many more. With the introduction of modern education by the British in India, we have lost connection with our own heritage. We are now at a critical precipice where if we do not exert our best efforts to revive the ancient knowledge systems, they may be lost to humanity forever. Our mission is to provide rigorous education that leverages traditional Indian systems to prepare culturally rooted, successful, and confident global leaders who will serve as ambassadors of the Indian culture. To make children as fluent in Sanskritam and its literature as in English, so that the entire treasure trove of Indian knowledge is accessible to them. Through rigorous study of both Shastric works and modern subjects, and firm mooring in dharmic values, we hope to nurture the thought leaders of the future. We aim to revive Indic knowledge systems through instruction in Sanskritam and to develop well-rounded individuals rooted in traditional Indian knowledge systems, and to provide direct education in traditional Indian academic disciplines, relevant to the present-day professional world. The current schooling system is designed to produce carbon copies of students through regimented curriculum delivery in a factory model, which makes the cultural spine its casualty and causes students to be alienated from their civilizational moorings. The contemporary world needs leaders who can research Indian civilizational values and establish the lost Indian perspective in all spheres of the professional world, be it in social sciences, technology, medicine, law, or any field of academics. In response to these challenges, our founders came together with their unique experiences and strengths and conceptualized the idea of Agastya Gurukulam. Agastya Gurukulam follows a progressive sequence of traditional teaching in both online and in-person modes, which begin with memorization-centric instruction for the first few years, followed by logic-centric education in the second phase, and a rhetoric level of education that focuses on research and self-expression. We offer 3 co-schooling programs for 3 different age groups: Kutuhalam for 3.5 to 5-year-olds, Jignasa for 6 to 11 years, and Pragnya for 12 to 18 years. Agastya Gurukulam offers full-time school options in place of the regular school. Currently, we provide an India and a USA online Gurukulam in the respective time zones. Our chairman is Shri Balaji. Our directors are Dr. Archana Purushottam and Vijaya Vishwanathan. Our executive director, Savita Joshi. And our board of trustees are Himanshu Bharadwaj, Neha Goyal, and Shri Ram Mohodaya. Connect with us at info@agastyagurukulam.org. Thank you and dhanyavadaha.
That was beautiful. It just shows how institutes like this can be absolutely unique, Reggie, and also bring about holistic education with a sense of commitment and dedication. What are your thoughts on just the presentation that we've seen?
Well, it's a wonderful opportunity to see people who are so young have the confidence to come forward and understand the background and be patriotic about India itself. And it's a learning experience for all children to be involved in the sciences, the medicine, the space, and all those kind of educational properties that India is there to offer. So it's a wonderful opportunity for children right across the world, no matter which country they're living in, to get involved. And these are kind of, even the martial arts, we will be seeing a activity of the martial arts. And we must remember that martial arts is a template which started out in India. And since from then, we have had Buddhist monks coming into from the east of India to India and learning about the martial arts because they were being attacked on their way to India and when they departed from India. So they were taught this martial arts, but they took it to some other levels to be able to use it as self-defense in many forms.
Absolutely. And Anamika ji, we now see you. Welcome.
Dhanyavad, Yashika Ben. Dhanyavad, Reggie. Namaste once again.
All right. Without further ado, we are now going to introduce a very special song that is etched in the hearts of Hindus throughout the globe. And you will share with us a little bit about the meaning of the song and then introduce the little children that's going to perform in today's program. Over to you.
Yes, Yashika Ben. So we have our student named Shankar Narayanan, who is 9 years old. He is going to play Vande Mataram song on violin. And I would like to tell a little bit about the song. It's our national song, which was composed by Bankim Chandra Chatterjee, originally in Sanskrit and Bengali, on 7th November 1875, and it was published in a Bengali fiction novel Anand Mat. So now I would invite Shankar Narayanan to play the song for all of us. Welcome, Shankar.
Namaste.
Namaste. Please play the song for us.
Namaste. धन्यवाद.
That was absolutely beautiful. Thank you so much for that rendition. I think, it's so interesting to find how India is celebrated as the Divine Mother principle. Can you tell us a little bit of why that is so, Anamika ji? And then perhaps you can lead us to the next very interesting item, a little bit that Reggie ji mentioned earlier. It's so nice to hear about Indian martial arts.
Indian martial arts, yes, Yashika Ben. So we do train our children in Kalari Payattu, which is also known as Kalari, and it is believed to be originated from our state Kerala, and it has a history of 3,000 years. We train our children during our summer camps. This time, due to COVID, we could do it online, but children, they really got fascinated, and they made videos which we are going to share just now. So we have 3 girls doing Kalari activities in this video from USA and Kenya. So let's play that video for our audience, please.
त्रीणि
இந்த ஸ்டிக் பின்னாடி இங்க அவுத்தா
1 2 3
Tunni.
2, 1.
हां
ಸಾಕು.
That was absolutely interesting and really, really beautiful. And, a lot of people misunderstand that, karate or the formalization of it happened to be in the Far East, but it actually was originally from India itself. So before we continue, there's one more video from a young lady from Kenya, Angelina. Please play that video, and then I'm going to call on.
Angelina Karambalkar, and I will be starting with the Namaskaram. There are 4 chodas in Kalari, which include Vattakal Choda, Neetukal Choda, Kodakal Choda, and the Otchakal Choda. We'll be going to the animal poses. Gajavadimu stands for the elephant pose. Ashravadimu, the horse pose. Simhavadimu, the lion pose. Malsiyavadimu, that is the fish pose. And finally, Kukuru Vadimu, that is the rooster pose. ధన్యవాదాలు.
Oh, that was absolutely amazing. Just to see the vibrancy and the energy in the young people, I think it's absolutely stunning. Reggie, what did you feel when you watched those two little video clips?
Number one, it was a focus, the determination, the confidence of flowing through them. And that is what builds up. And that is what is so important for the younger generation to elevate themselves, to move ahead faster with these kind of programs. So therefore, it's so important for the younger generation to continue making things happen in their lives.
Absolutely. And I think, Anamika ji, you are here with us in studio. Can you talk to us a little bit about the science behind the martial arts and why Kalari is actually propagated in the Gurukulam? What does it benefit a young person? And does it have good benefits for people later on?
Sure, Yashika Ben. Can you hear me? Am I audible?
Yes, we can.
Okay. So, Kalari is, as I mentioned, is the ancient Indian martial art and is considered to be the mother of all the martial arts that we know of, which exist in the modern world. And it keeps you physically fit, and it was also it builds up your confidence. As you must have seen in the girls, the entire body language changes, and they get motivated to learn the self defense. And I would really like to hear from Angelina, who attended our Kalari session during the summer camp, and I would really like to hear from her what was the experience and the change in her thought process after attending this class. Angelina, over to you.
Hello, everyone. First of all, happy Independence Day to everyone from India and outside. Regarding my experience with Kalari in the Chetna camp, I had such a wonderful experience. In my personal opinion, I really love sports, and this was among the first martial arts I had done. So, seeing how interactive the teacher was, making us repeat the steps again and again to make sure we got the right stance, the right posture, and the right way to put either hand forward, backward, it was really so interactive that it didn't feel like it was online. And they taught us a lot about Kalari in ways that I could understand for it being my first time. um well about the postures. uh it helped me boost my flexibility in, because martial arts teaches you several flexible moves. It taught me how to strengthen my individual body in, while like putting my head and mind into it. It's usually martial arts, they give you information about how to strengthen your bones or your muscles. In this, they taught you how to connect your tendons and ligaments also, which most martial arts forget about. It The starting power of your energy comes from your ligaments and your tendons. It showed us how to push it, how to push your limits and do the most you can in ways that you wouldn't have expected it yourself. So that's what I'd learned from Kalari. Thank you.
That's incredible. I think before you go, it's so wonderful to listen to you as a young person who's actually taken this on. Do you feel that more young girls are taking this on than young boys? What are your thoughts on learning self-defense, especially in a world where there's so much of violence against women?
Okay, honestly speaking, after I did my first session of Kalari, I'd searched about it in YouTube and Google because it really like perked curiosity in me. And the YouTube videos I'd seen, there were quite a lot of females compared to males in the classes that were being attended in South India, for example. So yes, there are a lot of people taking interest in it, and even I would like really love to learn self defense in order to like not be reliant, in order to be independent, and in order to feel empowered by myself. And I feel like other women, if they're not doing it, they should do it, and if they're already doing it, to continue it and to perceive it to the most, not just as a hobby or something they do as they like, but just to empower other women, because they're not just doing it for themselves, they're showing other women that you yourself can do it and you yourself can achieve this. You can be a role model for others, if I'm making sense. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was brilliant. And over to you, Anamika ji. Can you tell us a little bit more about the girls participating? Anamika ji, you're muted, I think. Yes.
Angelina?
Thank you, Angelina. That was a wonderful feedback, and we at Agastya Gurukulam are thrilled and motivated to organize such classes for our children. And I would like to mention the names of the other two talented girls who were there in the yellow t-shirt performing the Kalari exercise. One is Amruta Joshi. She's 13 years old, and the other one was Pavitra Jagan, 9 years old. So you can see the motivation level at different ages. Thank you so much, Yashika Ben.
Angelina, your balance was impeccable. What did it take you to get to that form? Because you could see the strength flowed from your hips to your toes. So what kind of time and effort you need to have to put to get to that form?
I have been doing sports professionally. That could be one of the reasons. But the Josh that I put in the video that I had sent, I think it came mostly from my love and passion. My mom told me that I'm doing this for the Independence Day program, in order to, the small way I could have contributed to show my love for my motherland in any way I could. So I put my all and gave my all in order to not mess up and do what I could to the best. Though it was a little and just a basic of whatever I've learned, I tried to put it to the best I could. And I also thank the teachers very much for teaching me so well.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining us and being with us today in studio. It's wonderful. All the best and good luck as you go forward.
Thank you. Dhanyavada. Sarvebhyo namaha.
Namaskar. Anamika ji, we want now to go to the sutras and the recitation with the children. But before we do that, there's a video that we would like to share with our guests, which is from the Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh in South Africa, who also teaches life skills and who teaches the ancient form of defense as well. So please stand by with the video.
Hindu Swayamsevak Sangh South Africa wishes all Indians a happy and prosperous Independence Day. A message from the youngest democracy, South Africa, to the world's largest democracy. Jai Hind.
There seems to be a technical glitch on that presentation. Let's try one more time for a beautiful Geet in dedication to humanity. And that is actually performed by our very own Saroj Bhai. We just want to see that it's working before we go on to the next items on the agenda, which is going to be the most amazing, unique recitations by young children. And Anamika ji will come in and she will then introduce the next set of our programs. Let's try one more time, Tech. Oh, I'm so sorry. There is a bit of an issue. We will try that a bit later. Now I will call Anamika ji into the studio again. Anamika ji, namaste. We're now going to have the recitation of Leelavati. And it's also in dedication to some of the ancient maths and sciences from our Hindu value system. Can you share a little bit about what that is?
Sure, Yashika Ben. So we are going to have few children who will be reciting sutras from Leelavati. But before that, I would like to tell our audience a little bit about the book. So Leelavati is an Indian mathematical book written by Bhaskar Acharya, a 12th century mathematician. Although many Indian mathematicians have done a lot of work and various books have been published, but this work was very popular and was extensively used as a textbook for maths for almost 800 years till the Britishers came to Bharat. The mathematical ideas are conveyed in the form of poetic verses actually in the book, which our children are going to recite just now. And in the form of poetic verses, in all the mathematical works, Leelavati is best known for its brevity, clarity, and poetic beauty. So I would like to call upon the first student from Agastya Gurukulam, Kushala from Chennai, who is 12 years old, and she would recite the sutras first, followed by Shankar Narayanan from Chennai too. Hello, Kushala.
Hi, Anamika ji.
Namaste. Start your recitation, Kushala.
Namasarvebhyah. Mama Nama Kushala. I am going to tell two slokas and their meanings from a book called Leelavati. Leelavati is a book on mathematics. It was composed by the famous astronomer and mathematician Bhaskaracharya in 1150 AD. Leelavati is a comprehensive exposition of arithmetic, algebra, geometry, mensuration, number theory, and related topics. Leelavati is the most celebrated work in the tradition of mathematics in India. The first verse of Leelavati is a prayer to Lord Ganesha. प्रीतिं भक्तजनस्य योजनयते विघ्नं विनिघ्नं स्मृतः तं वृन्दारकवृन्दवन्दितपदं नत्वा मतङ्गाननं पाटीं सद्गणितस्य वच्मि चतुरः प्रीतिप्रदां प्रस्कृतां संक्षिप्ताक्षरकोमलामलपदैर्लालित्य लीलावतीम्. Now I'll explain the meaning of this shloka. After saluting him, the Lord Ganesha, who has a face like that of an elephant and feet adored by a host of deities, and who, being remembered, causes delight in the devotees by removing obstacles. I, Bhaskaracharya, describe arithmetic demonstrated by expert mathematicians, lucid, beautiful, and sportive Leelavati, which satiates the ingenious intellect. Now, the next sloka is Leela Galalolalola Kalagyala Vilasine Ganeshaya Namo Neela Kamala Malakantaye. The meaning of the shloka is salutations to Lord Ganesha, shining and spotless like a blue lotus, sporting with a black snake swaying unsteadily around his neck. Namaste, Dhanyavadaha.
Very nice, Kushala. And now I call upon Shankar Narayanan from Chennai, who is 9 years old and a talented student from Agastya Gurukulam, India branch.
Namaste. Bhaskaracharya was one of the greatest mathematicians of ancient India. Amongst his works is Leelavati. I am going to recite 3 shlokas from Leelavati, which explain the methods of division and square of a number. Bhajaddharashuddhyati yadgudasyat antyat phalam tat khalu bhagahare samena kenapyapavatya harabhajyau bhajedvasati sambhavetu. This shloka describes the method of division or bhagahara. It explains that the result or phalam of division is the quotient. The difference of the dividend and the product of quotient and divisor is 0. The shloka further says that we can divide the divisor and the dividend with a common factor, thus making it into a simpler form and then dividing as before. समद्विघातः कृतिरुच्यतेऽथ स्थाप्योऽन्त्यवर्गोऽद्विगुणान्त्यनिघ्नाः स्वस्वोपरिष्टाच्च तथा परेऽङ्काः त्यक्त्वान्त्यमुत्सार्य पुनश्च राशिम् खण्डद्वयस्याभिहतिर्द्विनिघ्नी तत्खण्डवर्गैक्ययुता कृतिर्वा इष्टो न युग्राशिपथः कृतिः स्यात् इष्टस्य वर्गेण समन्वितो वा. Bhaskaracharya here defines square of a number as the product of the number with itself. He gives us an algorithm to find the square and also the formula, which is a plus b the whole square equal to a square plus 2ab plus b square, and a square equal to a plus b into a minus b plus b square in the form of a poetic verse. धन्यवाद.
Beautiful, Shankar Narayanan. Such a beautiful presentation. And now I would like to call upon Yashika Ben to give her feedback about the presentation. Isn't it amazing to hear this? Something new and amazing that existed in our Bharat. And unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to study this. This generation is getting a chance through Agastya Gurukulam and many such Gurukuls across Bharat and other countries to study this. So please say a few words.
Absolutely. I think it's brilliant that they are able to recite fluently, flawlessly from the Shastras, but at the same time, give intonation to some of the most important sciences and maths, that we've come to think of as a Western concept, and yet it has been in our Shastras, for generations. Reggie, what are your thoughts on the recitation as well as the articulation, from our scriptures, but more importantly, sharing recitation not in the form of a prayer, but rather acknowledging science, mathematics. You muted, Reggie.
Whenever you take a new discipline, you are rewiring your brain. So when children start doing this at such an early age, they are now setting a pathway in the brain activity. And that's so incredibly beautiful, because this is how they become more creative, they become more confident, more motivated, and they only can go more higher and higher in the life itself, and also contribute to society as well, but also assist with other youth in their lives around them.
Absolutely right.
I think that's very, very true, Ben. And, how long has this been taught at the school?
So we started Agastya Gurukulam full time last September, Yashika Ben. September 2020, we started our first batch in USA, and in October we started our first batch in Bharat. And they study throughout. We are from grade 1 till grade 8. So till they are with us, they are going to study Ganitam from Lilavati in the same way what you just saw.
Fantastic. So up next is something else which is quite unique, the Amar Kosha. Can you tell
Yes.
us a little bit about that, and then perhaps introduce the children that will be there?
Absolutely. I'll be more than happy to actually tell the audience about this book as well. Actually, Namalinga Anushasanam is popularly known as Amar Kosha. It is a Sanskrit thesaurus and is written 1700 years back by Amar Simha, who was supposedly a Buddhist. This work lists various synonyms of a word, the form of poetic verses. The entire work is classified in 3 kandas, and each kanda is further classified into vargas. Although there are many koshas available, Amar Kosha is widely popular because of the wide range of words it offers. So now I will invite 2 students from Agastya Gurukulam, Bharat, to recite a few shlokas from Amar Kosha. First is Shriya from Bangalore and followed by Pragati from Dubai.
Namaste.
One thing I would like to mention here that the ages of these children, Shriya is 7 years, who is from Bangalore, and Pragati is from Dubai, 10 years old. So Shriya, please go ahead.
Namaste. I am Shriya. I am 7 years old. I study in the Akshara Varga of Agastya Gurukulam. I shall chant the first 28 shlokas of the Amara Kosha. Amara Kosha is the Sanskritam thesaurus. यस्य ज्ञानदया सिन्धो रगाधस्यानगा गुणा सेव्यतामक्षयो धीराः स श्रियै चामृताय च समाहृत्यान्यतन्त्राणि संक्षिप्तैः प्रतिसंस्कृतैः सम्पूर्णमुच्यते वर्गैर्नामलिङ्गानुशासनम् प्रायशो रूपभेदेन साहचर्यार्च कुत्रचित् स्त्रीपुं नपुंसकं ज्ञेयं तद्विशेषविधे क्वचित् भेदाख्यानयनद्वन्द्वो नैकशेषो न संकरः कृतोऽत्र भिन्नलिङ्गानाम् अनुक्तानां कृमादृते त्रिलिङ्ग्यां त्रिष्विधिपदं मिथुने तु द्वयोरिति निषिद्धलिङ्गं शेषार्थं त्वन्ताथादिनपूर्वभाक् अतः स्वर्गवर्गः स्वरव्ययं स्वर्गनाका त्रिदवत्रिदशालयाः सुरलोकोद्योदिवौ द्वे स्त्रियां क्लीबे त्रिविष्टपम् अमरा निर्जरा देवास्त्रिदशा विबुधा सुराः सुपर्वाणः सुमनसस्त्रिदिवीश दिवौकसः आदितेयादिविशदो लेखा अदितिनन्दनाः आदित्या ऋभवो स्वप्ना अमर्त्या अमृतान्दसः बर्हिर्मुखाकृतभुजो गीर्वाणा दानवारयः वृन्दारका दैवतानि पुंसि वा देवता स्त्रियाम् आदित्यविश्ववसवस्तुषिता भास्वरानिलाः महाराजिकसाज्याश्च रुद्राश्च गणदेवताः विद्याधरोऽप्सरो यक्षो रक्षो गन्धर्वकिन्नराः पिशाचो गुह्यकः सिद्धो भूतो मी देवयोनयः असुरा दैत्य दैतेय धनुषेन्द्रारिदानवाः शुक्रशिष्यादितिसुताः पूर्वदेवासुरद्विषः सर्वज्ञः सुगतो बुद्धो धर्मराजस्तथागतः समन्तभद्रो भगवान् मारजिल्लोकजिज्जिनः षडभिज्ञो दशवलो द्वयवाती विनायकः मुनीन्द्रश्रीधनश्यास्ता मुनिशाक्यमुनिस्तुयः धन्यवादः. Thank you.
Anamika ji, you are muted. Oh, they were absolutely brilliant. That was stunning.
Awesome, Shreya. Thank you so much. Dhanyavadaha.
Thank you, ma'am.
And now I invite Pragati, who is 7 years old. I correct myself here. Earlier I mentioned 10 years. I'm sorry about it. She's 7 years old and is representing Agastya Gurukulam Akshar Varga from Dubai.
Namaste. My name is Pragati Puama. I am 7 years old. I study in Agastya Gurukulam of Akshara Varga. Now I am going to recite the next 20 slokas of Amara Ghosha. शशाक्य सिंहत्सर्वात् सिद्धः सौदोदनिश्चसः गौतवर्षार्कबन्धुष्ट मायादेवी तुतश्चसः ब्रह्मात्मभूसुरज्येष्ठः परमेष्टि पितामहः हिरण्यगर्भो लोकेशः स्वयंभश्चतुराननः द्वाताब्जयो निर्द्रुहिणो विरिञ्चिष्कबलासनः तष्टा प्रजापतिर्वेदा विधाता विश्वसृद्वृतिः नाभिजन्माञ्जतः पूर्वः निधनः कमलोद्भवः तदानन्दो रजो मूर्तिः सत्यकोऽहं सवाहनः विष्णुर्नारायणः कृष्णः वैकुण्ठो विष्टरश्रवाः दामोदरो ऋषिकेशः केशवो माधवस्वभूः दैत्यारिष्पुण्डरीकाक्षः गोविन्दो गरुडध्वजः पीताम्बरच्युतशार्ङ्गी विश्वक्सेनो जनार्दनः उपेन्द्र इन्द्रावरजः चक्रपाणि चतुर्भुजः पद्मनाभो मधुरिपुः सत्यको हंसवाहनः देवकीनन्दनः शौरिः श्रीपतिपुरुषोत्तमः वनमाली बलध्वंसी कंसारातिरदोक्षजः विश्वम्भरकैटभजित् विदुश्रीवत्सलाञ्छनः पुराणपुरुषः यज्ञपुरुषः नरकान्तकः जलशायी विश्वरूपः मुकुन्दो मुरमर्दनः वासुदेवस्य जनकः स एवानकदुन्दुभिः धन्यवादः.
Beautiful. That was absolutely stunning. Really, really something absolutely amazing.
Yes.
Thank you, Baba. I am so privileged to hear you sing and recite so absolutely fluently. When did mommy and daddy teach you?
Pragati?
Last year.
From last year. That is brilliant. I think you're going to get a prize from Prime Minister Modi and all of us. So you're welcome to come to South Africa.
Thank you.
Dhanyavad. We can continue. Thank you so much. We can continue, Ben, with the next part, which is going to be the shloka from Ashtadhyayi, because we are also waiting for Vimalji as well. So we can continue with Ashtadhyayi.
Okay, sure, Yashika Ben. Now, for Ashtadhyay, I would like to invite our student Madhav from Gurugaon. It is known by both the names. To recite the shlokas from Ashtadhyay. And little bit I would like to tell about Ashtadhyay. It is also one of the treatises on grammar, Sanskrit grammar, written by Indian grammarian Panini during the 5th century. This work set the linguistic standards for classical Sanskrit. It sums up 4,000 sutras, the science of phonetics and grammar that had evolved in the Vedic religion. So I would like to call upon Madhav to recite the shlokas from Ashtadhyay.
नमो नमः सर्वेभ्यः मम नाम माधवः अस्ति अहम् अद्य अष्टाध्यायी सूत्राणि वदामि येनाक्षरसमाम्नायम् अधिगम्य महेश्वरात् कृत्स्नं व्याकरणं प्रोक्तं तस्मै पाणिनये नमः अथ माहेश्वराणि सूत्राणि अयुण ऋलक एयोङ् अयौच हयवरट लण यमगणनं झबन्य घटदश जबगडदश ख फ छ ठ थ चट तव कपय्य शशसर हल इति माहेश्वराणि सूत्राणि अथ प्रथमाध्याय प्रथमपादः वृद्धिरादैच अदेङ् गुणः इको गुणवृद्धि न धातु लोप आर्धधातुके किन्ति च दीधि वे वीतां हलोऽनन्तराः संयोगः मुखनासिकावचनोऽनुनासिकः तुल्यास्य प्रयत्नं सवर्णं नाझलौ ईदुदे द्विवचनं प्रग्रह्यम् अदसोमात् शे निपात एकाजनान् ओत् सम्बुद्धौ शाकल्यस्येतावनार्षे उयः ॐ ईदुतौ च सप्तम्यर्थे दाधाघ्वदा आद्यन्तवदेकस्मिन् तरप्तमपौघः बहुगणवतुडति संख्या श्नान्ताषट् डति च तक्तवतु निष्ठा सर्वादीनि सर्वनामानि विभाषादिक् समासे बहुव्रीहौ न बहुव्रीहौ तृतीया समासे द्वन्द्वे च विभाषाजसि प्रथमचरमतयालपार्धकतिपयनेमाश्च पूर्वपरावर्दक्षिणोत्तरापराधराणि व्यवस्थायाम संज्ञायां स्वमज्ञातिधनाख्यायाम् अन्तरं बहिर्योगोपसंज्ञानयोः स्वरादिनिपातमव्ययम् तद्धितश्चा सर्वविभक्तिः कृन्मेजन्तः त्वाप्तो सुन्कसुनः अव्ययीभावश्च शि सर्वनामस्थानं सुडनपुंसकस्य नवेति विभाषा यज्ञसम्प्रसारणम् आद्यन्तौ टकितौ मिदचोऽन्त्यात् ए च इघ्रस्वादेशे षष्ठी स्थाने योगा स्थानेऽन्तरतमः उडन्नरपरः अलोन्त्यस्य निच्च आदेः परस्य अनेकाल्शित् सर्वस्य स्थानिवदादेशो नल्विधौ अचः परस्मिन् पूर्वविधौ नपदान्तद्विर्वचनवरेयलोपस्वरसवर्ण अनुस्वार दीर्घजश्चर्विदिषु द्विर्वचनेचि अदर्शनं लोपः प्रत्ययस्य लुक्ष्लुलुपः प्रत्ययलोपे प्रत्ययलक्षणं नलुमताङ्गस्य अचोन्त्यादिटि अलोन्त्यात् पूर्व उपधा तस्मिन्निति निर्दिष्टे पूर्वस्य तस्मादित्युत्तरस्य स्वं रूपं शब्दस्य शब्दसंज्ञा अणुदित्सवर्णस्य च प्रत्ययः तपरस्तत्कालस्य आदिरन्त्येन सहेता येन विधिस्तदन्तस्य वृद्धिर्यस्याचामादिस्तद्वृद्धं तिदादीनि च एङ् प्राचां देशे धन्यवादः
That was absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. What a beautiful recitation. And what is your age again, Beta?
8.
Wow, absolutely amazing and fantastic. Thank you so much. Anamika ji, are we going to the skit next? And you can talk to us a little bit about that.
Yeah, sure. Stay blessed, all you children. I sometimes get short of words how to praise you. Seriously, I just get awestruck when I look at you and listen to all of you. So, Madhav, thank you so much, beta. Thank you. And now there is a short skit actually, Yashika Bain. It is in Sanskrit, but very simple. I'm sure people who know Hindi, they would easily understand the dialogues. It is actually comical interaction between the what do you call a customer and a server in a restaurant, and it's a comedy basically. So let's enjoy that.
Thank you.
I would like to call upon Vidula and Om to perform that skit live for all of us. Om is 8 years old and is from Pune and is from Agastya Gurukulam, of course. And Vidula, she is 10 years old from Bangalore. So she is the customer, and as you can see, Om is the server. So let's enjoy this. All the best, children.
नमस्ते आगच्छतु आगच्छतु उपविशतु महोदये किम् आवश्यकम् किम् अस्ति इड्ली अस्ति दोसा अस्ति चपाती अस्ति पूरी अस्ति चायमस्ति बहु सम्यक् भवतां कृते बहु अस्ति इड्ली अस्ति वा आम् अस्ति अस्ति अस्तु गच्छतु इड्लीम् आनयतु इड्ली अस्ति चट्नी नास्ति किम् इड्ली अस्ति चट्नी नास्ति वा अस्तु दोसा अस्ति वा आम् अस्ति अस्ति अस्तु गच्छतु दोसाम् आनयतु दोसा अस्ति सांबार नास्ति किम् दोसा अस्ति सांबार नास्ति वा अस्तु रोटिका अस्ति वा आम् अस्ति अस्ति सम्यक् रोटिका अस्ति गच्छतु गच्छतु रोटिकां शीघ्रम् आनयतु आम् अहम् आनयामि रोटिका अस्ति कूर्मा नास्ति अय्यो चायम् अस्ति वा चायम् आम् अस्ति अस्ति अस्तु उष्णम् अस्ति वा आम् बहु उष्णम् अस्ति अस्तु गच्छतु गच्छतु चायं शीघ्रम् आनयतु महोदये चायमस्ति चषकः नास्ति किम् इड्ली अस्ति चट्नी नास्ति दोसा अस्ति सांबार नास्ति रोटिका अस्ति कुर्मा अपि नास्ति चायम् अस्ति चषकः नास्ति तालः अस्ति वा तालः आम् अस्ति अस्ति भोजनशालां कीणयतु तालः अस्ति कुञ्चिका नास्ति अय्यो धन्यवादः
Absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. We are so proud of you all. Oh my goodness. And Pragati, what is your age?
Vidula.
Vidula, my apologies.
Yeah, I'm 10 years.
10 years. And Om?
I'm 8 years.
Wow. And how long have you studied this recitation and also being a great comedian? I work in the TV business and we love comedians.
2 months.
2 months. Oh my goodness, that is absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Om and Vidula. That was a very entertaining performance. So, idli asti, chutney nasti. You both go and make chutney and sambar now. Okay? See you.
Namaste.
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 Yashika Ben, who is next?
Namaste. We have a video and a special message that is coming up next. And that is going to be by Arvind Patel, and he is from Uganda. As the show has been going on, we are getting unbelievable numbers of comments, from people throughout the world, parents, etc., thanking us for today's very special program, because it's actually owned by the children, not just the youth, Reggie, but by the children. What are your comments, Reggie, before we go to the video? Reggie, you muted?
Absolutely brilliant. All I can say, wow, wow, wow. You put so much effort into it and you're really shining today. Absolutely brilliant.
I think so too. And it's amazing.
Thank you so much, Reggie. Thank you so much, Reggie, on behalf of entire team of Agastya Gurukulam. It's the teamwork that's shining.
Yeah.
And thanks, special thanks to the parents who have been like on their toes along with their 24/7 work from home and other professional commitments. They make sure that the children were rehearsing and they were ready to meet me at any time. We were keeping the meetings. It's absolutely, the credit goes to the parents. They are so involved in their children's education. Thank you, parents. Thank you so much.
Namaste, parents. Namaste, everyone that's been part and parcel of the program. Yeah. We will continue with more of the items just now. Reggie, one last comment before we go to our video by Arvind Patel.
Well, I say things like recitations. And if you look at it, how long it was, the amount of time they spent on it. Now, we couldn't learn our times table in school. Can you imagine how much effort must have gone into reconstructing the mind to be able to do that? And the vibration was flowing from them. The vibration, and this is what we talk about in our chanting as well, to create the vibration within ourselves. So these are things that is flowing through them in various different ways. So we have so many different Indian tools. It's just absolutely amazing.
Absolutely
we
incredible.
have so much to improve ourselves, and you were talking about earlier on about people who are much more older regarding doing martial arts. It is a revitalization program we can go through. We can change our youth. We can change the youth within us, and we can create a new dimension for ourselves, and we program our life. We prolong it. We will. Definitely.
It's reprogramming, re-engineering, and rediscovering.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Reggie. Now we have a video clip with a special message from Uganda. Tech, please play the video.
I am Arvind Patel from Uganda. I am wishing all the best on the 75th anniversary of Indian independence to the Indian government, Indian people of India, and people of Indian origin and diaspora in all over the world. This is a good opportunity for us as an Indian to celebrate all over the world as a platinum jubilee of the India Independence Day. Government of India is really doing wonderful job for the people of India in India as well as abroad, and we should support the Indian government all the way we can do it, so that we can stabilize our country, and we do in the interest of the Indian. Thank you very much. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat, Vande Mataram.
Much. That was wonderful message. We must appreciate all these wonderful messages that are coming from, throughout the continent, and in fact from United States as well as UK, where they're wishing us very well on social media. I'm just having a look at, some of the comments on the chat as well. Sarojbhai Technical, please can you collate some of these wonderful comments and we can put them out onto our platform. But up next, we're going to have a message from the Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh. Is that ready, Sarojbhai? All right. And thereafter, we are going to have a Geet that will be performed by Sarojbhai before we continue with the children from the Agastya Gurukulam. Thank you.
Hey, Janmabhoomi Bharat, हे कर्मभूमि भारत, हे वंदनीय भारत, अभिनंदनीय भारत.
That was a short snippet dedicated to the Divine Mother. And it was, and we would be able to hear a little bit more about that video a little bit later on. Sarojbhai, would you be able to do the Geet for us from Hindu Swayam Sevak Sangh?
Hari Om, Namaskaram, Mama Parichaya, Mama Nama, Saroj Mahanta Asti. अहम जोहान्सबर्ग नगरे बसामि. धन्यवादः. मनसा सततं स्मरणीयं, वचसा सततं वदनीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयं. न भोगभवने रमणीयं, न च सुखशयने शयनीयम्. अहर्निशं जागरणीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयम्. न जातु दुःखं गणनीयं, न च निजसौख्यं मननीयम्. कार्यक्षेत्रे त्वरणीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयं. दुःखसागरे तरणीयं, कष्टपर्वते चरणीयं. विपत्तिविपिने भ्रमणीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयम्. गहनारण्ये घनान्धकारे, बन्धुजनाये स्थिता गौहरे. तत्र मया संवरणीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयं, लोकहितं मम करणीयम्. धन्यवादः.
Dhanyavad Sarojbhai for that beautiful rendition. I do apologize for the sound, but it was in dedication to the principles of compassion and goodness of humanity. And it goes back to the ancient knowledge systems of the Vedas that strove for man's evolution in character, for man to rise above all these difficulties, these Mayic tendencies that we sometimes are attached to in our daily lives. And just like the lotus that is merged in these murky waters, we need to rise above and become that beautiful lotus, untainted by the world of Maya around us. So such songs inspire the individual to raise and live a life of a higher consciousness that creates the atmosphere for becoming this evolved soul. And our journey in life today isn't about the number of cars or the number of homes that you have. It's about giving home to another. It's about sharing with another. That is the beauty of our Sanskriti. And I think the children today are learning that, and they're becoming part and parcel of our lives. What do you think, Reggie, of that beautiful song that was just sung?
Well, it's wonderful to see adults getting involved now. And this is when they shine and they dedicate themselves towards Hinduism as well. But in that process itself, it improves themselves, because when they take action within themselves, they are looking at, who am I? And from that, they discover themselves and move through one discovery into another self-discovery, which makes them immense and beautiful leaders.
Very, very true, Reggie. Anamika ji, we now are going back to the children, and we're going to look at a patriotic song that the kids have done and have prepared. Can you tell us a little bit about it? Because today we speak to the spirit of Desh Bhakti. We speak to the spirit of patriotism wherever we are. In fact, the inspiration of India, not just having this day for people of Indian origin, but everywhere, people around the world who have espoused the values of Bharat Mata, because in itself, India isn't just a country. India represents a culture. India represents that which we can reach beyond. So it isn't just this piece on a map. What are your thoughts?
Yes, absolutely, Yashika Ben. And moving forward to, express our feelings for our motherland, the children at Agastya Gurukulam, they sang a patriotic song in three different languages, Tamil, Sanskrit, and Hindi. So without taking much time, I will just briefly share the gist of the song, which goes like, the soil of this land is as pure and fragrant as sandalwood. Compassion, hard work, selflessness, and pursuit of Ganga-like purest form of knowledge is the national character of this civilization. Every girl here embodies Devi, and every boy here is like Ram. Every admirable aspect of our Bharati civilization, its people and their culture is described and sung here in three beautiful languages of Bharat, which is Sanskrit, Hindi, and Tamil. So let's enjoy the song. And after the song, I will mention the names of all the children and introduce them to the audience.
Thank you so much. I just wanted to chat a little bit about the nature of patriotism while our technical team gets the video. The video is, I believe, there are 5 children who are part of the creation of the video.
Very true. Yes, there are 5 children total from India, Agastya Gurukulam.
Excellent. And if the children are imbibed with the characters of patriotism, Ben, do you feel that we are secure in the next generation? Because too often, we find that it ends up with the older people. The youth don't want to espouse to that. In fact, they're tired of politics and all those things that happen. But what is it that they feel in their hearts that they can imbibe? Is it the values of kindness? Is it the values of generosity? What are those types of principles that bind Hindus, that bind Indians together?
So here, Yashika Ben, actually, on a broad spectrum, it's a big topic. Actually, I can go on and on. The values and principles are inculcated from the very early childhood. Children, they learn and they imitate what they see around, and parents are the role models. And then we always say school is the second home, because they imitate their teachers, they imitate their classmates, you know. So they here when we talk, or we use the word patriotism, you know, it should not be limited to the children who are born and brought up on this land, Bharat, but it should be deeply imbibed in each and every child across the globe. They should, because it's our identity. Being Bharatiya is an identity, right? It's a natural identity. The passport identity doesn't inculcate the values and principles. That's my opinion, right? So it is our efforts of the adults. And, what I see, if this generation will not be given an exposure to the ancient India, we will lose a lot of things as far as culture is concerned. Our children should not feel embarrassed in putting a bindi or wearing a sari or wearing a kurta pajama, even if they land in some other country. You know, why should they? They should not be ashamed of talking in Hindi. Why should they? You know, if you step out of Bharat, people, they feel pride in talking in their language. Then why we as Indians shy away from speaking in Hindi, for example? So all these things, we as parents, as teachers, as educational institutes need to imbibe in them. They are like mud. We need to transform them into beautiful pots, you know. As they are growing, they are really very, very innocent. They do not know how the world is outside. So if they know the history of their country, see, knowledge speaks irrespective of where you are residing. But if you know where you belong to or where your forefathers belong to, there is no harm in studying the history of that nation, because ultimately you belong to that nation. It is the mother. We call India as mother. Why do we call mother? Because I would say because we, that's the respect we hold for our nation, for our country. Like a mother who cares for her child, she protects her children. Similarly, Bharat is our motherland, हमारी जन्म भूमि, हमारी कर्म भूमि, and we should feel proud about it, and we should glorify it across the globe, irrespective of where you were born. It's like when we go out, people praise our parents. Oh wow, what an upbringing, you know. So similarly, if we stand in some other country, oh, he's from India, he's from Bharat. You know, that kind of personality our children should have. So I will not talk much about it. And Yashika Ben, Reji Bhai, you can add to my points if you like.
I just want to find out from you. You are so patriotic. What brings about this patriotism in you?
I belong to a defense family. My father, he served Indian Army. My brother, he's watching, I think, this show. He's watching live today. He's also serving Indian Army. And like he's the only, my mother has only two of us. But she never got fearful, oh, I have only one son and that two will go to army. What will I do? Or what will I do if something happens to him? So that's the kind of outlook we have. And I think it's in our blood. So it is inbuilt. It's in the motherboard. So, and then even I have lived abroad for almost 15, 16 years. So I know how much I used to miss Bharat, you know, during different festivals or during celebrations of Republic Day or Independence Day. So, and the children there, they miss and they are not getting what we have got as we were growing up here in India. So there is definitely a difference when you are brought up on another land and when you're brought up here in India, you see. So I think that when I was away from Bharat, the love for my country grew more and more. You know, I think there were certain things I used to take for granted when I was here, when I was, but when I went away from India, then I realized, no, that's the real gold. Whether it's culture or festivals or clothes, whatever it is, you know, that smell in the soil is different.
Yes, yes, yes.
We together, wherever we are, we should work hard to develop India as a great and inspiring nation.
And do you think it's happening?
Yes, you and I are here together today, isn't it?
Wonderful example. Wonderful example. Yes, 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 yes. And what do you find about the arts field in India? Is it growing, or it's just maintaining its stance, or they're really increasing it?
Which one? Sorry, come again, Reggie ji.
The arts field of, my understanding, there's a celebration in India every day. There's a festival every day.
Celebration in India every day? Like, sorry, I didn't get you.
You are celebrating some event in India every day, and it's a lot to do with festivals, because the country is so rich with different cultures, and it's so diverse.
Yes.
At the same time, you integrate and bring everything together.
Yeah, absolutely. So here I would like to remind everyone, all of us, if we want to celebrate, you know, we should start using Hindu calendars, and we should follow each and every day. We should not only wait for big festivals like Diwali or Holi, but if you read the Hindu calendar, every day has some or the other importance, you know. So I think then it becomes beautiful if we enjoy every day. Why not?
Wow, that is what is the glue that keeps Indians in India together in their cultural form and really having pride in their culture itself. Is that the glue you're talking about?
See, that's the basics of our existence. If that is lost, nothing is remaining. Just think, what is there which brings all of us together? The festival increases our energy, our spirits. Otherwise, on normal days, do we talk to each other or no? But during festivals, we want to meet our family, we want to meet our friends, we want to wear nice clothes, we want to eat sweets, you know, for example. So definitely all these small festivals and beautiful occasions are meant to actually bring all of us together who are busy otherwise in our daily routines.
Wow.
I think that's in so many ways, and I think it's absolutely essential that people of Indian origin get together, because one of the things we've learned, and I think Reggie ji, you've just been to India recently, and we've been part of sharing, the Republic Day celebrations, which was in January 2019, and I think it was a spectacular time to see thousands of Indians come together, and that was before the COVID program. So where people, come to celebrate not just their culture or arts or music, but rather their nationhood. And what I was so impressed was you had the police force, women in the police force, as part of the celebrations. You had an entire theme that was dedicated to icons like Mahatma Gandhi. And in South Africa, we have icons like Mandela that celebrated the freedom struggle in our country. The reason why, want to share this, I feel that not many people understand values in which Gandhiji had come through this struggle, as well as Nelson Mandela, Bishop Tutu. Reggie, would you like to share why people of faith became so involved in the freedom struggle, not only here but in India and elsewhere also?
Well, to give an example of Gandhiji, he was a lawyer. He was moving into commerce, but he seen an injustice that was taking place. And from his deep background of religion and faith itself in mankind, he helped to change, and he changed his career. He became more politically minded, and made so many changes here in South Africa for us. So he spent his apprenticeship here in South Africa before he came to India. And he made huge leaps and bounds. So similarly, we have people like Bishop Desmond Tutu in South Africa as well, who could have just been in the churches, but changed direction because of faith, of their integrity, their honesty, and their social cohesion in themselves with humanity. They could not want to see human suffering. And having faith in God gives meaning and purpose to human life. And that is what they expounded on all the time.
I think that's true. And I think that's absolutely incredible because South Africa is the youngest democracy. India is the largest democracy. And it becomes so critical for us to build that patriotism. We've just recently had the riots in the country. People have been feeling unsettled. We are going to have local elections as time goes on. But my thinking is that there is a need to rebuild in every South African child the sense of self-sacrifice and the sense of selflessness, because we live in a Western paradigm where too many people are selfish. What are your thoughts on selfishness, Reggie G?
A thing that decreases you as a human being. If you ever think of being selfish, rather look at being selfless, because that changes you as a human being itself. It gives you a purpose in life. So pursue a purpose with a passion. And that is what I feel with everyone. Anita was talking about diamond earlier on. Is just, you leave the diamond there. And if you don't shine it, you wouldn't bring out the brilliance of diamond. But even in its raw state, a diamond will be just like a piece of rock until you cut and shape it. And that is what we need to do. Cut and shape our lives. Make the necessary changes to move from where you are to where you want to be. And then, just like the diamond, you will polish the diamond. And you will make so much more improvements to yourself. And in the process of making those changes within yourself, positive changes I'm talking about, you will be able to contribute this to mankind. So you're not touching only yourself, but you're touching mankind overall. And that makes a big change itself, because then you're pursuing a purpose with a passion, and you come into this life for what? You will need to ask yourself that question, unless you can make some positive changes. Thank you, Yashika.
Thank you so much, Reggie Ji, for those wonderful words of wisdom. And thank you, Anamika Ji, as well. It's not, we've been working together now in the last week or so, and we've learned about each other. I think when Indians come together, there's this automatic sense of, hospitality and a sense of, a chai pe charcha, in a sense, let's get over tea. And those, little expressions that come from Bharat, people take it for granted, because even the term chai is so used, everywhere in different circles. In fact, India, manufactured it, and then the British perfected it by marketing it so well.
Chai is one of the glue. It connects people.
Absolutely. So now we have our little ones again, and they are now going to share a beautiful patriotic song. So let's sit back, listen, and enjoy the beautiful sounds of our ancient languages from Tamil, Hindi, and Sanskrit in the next piece that is coming up. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
हृदपि च चन्दनमस्मिन् देशे ग्रामो ग्रामः सिद्धवनं यत्र च बाला देवी स्वरूपा बाला सर्वे श्रीरामाः बाला सर्वे श्रीरामाः हरिमन्दिरमिदमखिलशरीरं धनशक्ति जनसेवायै यत्र च क्रीडायैव नराजः धेनुर्माता परमशिवा नित्यं प्रातः शिवगुणगानं दीपनुतिः खलु शत्रुपरा यत्र च बाला देवी स्वरूपा बाला सर्वे श्रीरामाः बाला सर्वे श्रीरामाः சந்தனம் எங்கள் நாட்டின் புழுதி கிராமம் அனைத்தும் தவ பூமி சிறுமியரெல்லாம் தேவியின் வடிவம் சிறுவரனை வரும் ராமனே சிறுவரனை வரும் ராமனே கோயிலை போலே உடல்கள் புனிதம் மாந்தரனை வரும் உபகாரி சிங்கத்துடனே விளையாடிடுவோம் ஆவினம் எங்கள் அன்பு தாய் காலையில் ஆலய மணிகள் முழங்கும் கிளிகள் கண்ணன் ஏற்பாடும்
சிறுமியரெல்லாம் தேவியின் வடிவம் சிறுவரனை வரும் ராமனே சிறுவரனை வரும் ராமனே உழைப்பால் விதியை மாற்றிடும் மண்ணில் உழைப்பின் நோக்கம் பொது நலமே தியாகமும் தவமும் கவிகள் பாட்டி கருவாயமையும் நாடிது கருவாயமையும் நாடிது கங்கை போலே தூய ஞானம் ஜீவனதீயன பாய்ந்திடும் சிறுமியரெல்லாம் தேவியின் வடிவம் சிறுவரனை வரும் ராமனே சிறுவரனை வரும் ராமனே
यत्र हि नैव स्वदेह विमोहः युद्धरतानां वीराणां यत्र हि कृषकः कार्यरतः सन् पश्यति जीवनसाफल्यम् पश्यति जीवनसाफल्यम् जीवनलक्ष्यं न हि धनपदवी यत्र च परशिवपदसेवा यत्र च बाला देवी स्वरूपा बाला सर्वे श्रीरामाः बाला सर्वे श्रीरामाः के सैनिक समर भूमि में गाया करते गीता है जहाँ खेत में हल के नीचे खेला करती सीता है खेला करती सीता है जीवन का आदर्श यहाँ पर परमेश्वर का धाम है हर बाला देवी की प्रतिमा बच्चा बच्चा राम है बच्चा बच्चा राम है
That was absolutely incredible. Anamika ji, we are so impressed with the children. We think they're absolutely incredible. They've got boundless energies. Can you talk to us a little bit about the song? Because I remember growing up singing the song in the Ramakrishna Center when we were children. And, in fact, she was a female, nun there, used to teach us the song. It's absolutely amazing to have where children are described as Lord Ram, and women are described as puja or prayer, and the Devi. Please talk to us a little bit more about that.
So I'm from a Hindi speaking state and family. So whatever I heard in Hindi, I'll take those lines and try to explain. So basically we are praising the Indian culture, and we are saying that it is so profound that we treat each and every child as God, Ram, and each and every girl as Devi. Like for example, when a girl child is born in our families, we say Lakshmi hui hai, ya Lakshmi aayi hai. So she's taken as a luck to be blessed to have more and more wealth. So she has brought in the luck to be abundant and prosper in life. So that's the kind of thinking and culture we come from. That is what is being explained in this song. So this is the explanation in my words. Now there is something which I received as a proper text from one of the parents as a gist of the song, which I said earlier, but I'll repeat for the new audiences who have joined us after that. So basically it says, the soil of this land is as pure and fragrant as sandalwood. So that's the kind of respect and madness, literally, I would say, we have for our motherland, right? Compassion, hard work, selflessness, and pursuit of Ganga like purest form of knowledge is the national character of this civilization. We worship River Ganga. So that's the kind of purity we have in our thoughts and in our culture. Every girl here embodies Devi and every boy here is like Ram. So when we were talking about values and principles, Yashika Ben, this is where we come from. This is what we inculcate in our children, that you should be like Lord Ram, you should be like Sita Mata. So that's what we teach our children. That's the softness we carry in our hearts, So this is what is being explained in the song. Thank you.
That is absolutely incredible. We are so blessed to have you with us and to have shared so much of wisdom at this time. Yourself, working between the different countries and bringing, these young children together. How did the parents, come to you? Because I just wanted to ask one or two questions before we go to our next speaker, Shame, who's been, trying to come on, and he's now on standby. But maybe just share a little bit of the practical ways in which you were able to bring these kids together.
If you talk about how I got associated with Agastya Gurukulam, I always say it's like a blessing to me that I was at home and I got connected with everyone here, and I got an opportunity to contribute whatever I can towards my dharma, towards the education of the children. What I did was on social media, we started promoting. We used to have webinars, and then people from all over the globe connected with us. And that's how, the family is growing from last 1 year. So we have parents from Australia, from Dubai, from India, from Hong Kong, from Singapore, from USA. And so through social media, Yashika Ben, and then the contact number which we had displayed in the intro video, if you want, I will tell here also if people want to connect with us. So that's how we keep growing every day. Actually, I keep interacting with people, different parents, different families who are nationalists, who have a different outlook as far as the education of the children is concerned. They want to give them an Indic perception other than what is going on outside in the books, basically. So think out of the box type attitude, and that's how we connect. And then they join Agastya Gurukulam because our objective is actually the same, and we are on the same page.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that beautiful words. I now hand over to Reggie ji. Reggie ji, you're muted.
Our next guest is a pioneer who left India and made himself a huge person in Kenya. He has been the Kenyan president of BJP. He was a municipal councillor in Kenya. He past chairman of the Hindu Council of Kenya, chairman of the International Yoga of Professionals in Nairobi and Mount Kenya region itself. Please join me in welcoming the fabulous and amazing Dr. Vimalji. Please join me.
Namaste. First of all, I would like to congratulate each of you and Indian diaspora in South Africa, all over the world in Africa. Happy Independence Day. As we started this journey on 12th March this year of Amrit Mahotsav, which will be celebrated for 75 months, as Prime Minister has put it really, weeks. On behalf of Overseas Front of BJP in Kenya and East Africa and Africa as a whole, I would like to congratulate all the participants for a wonderful performance. It really touched hearts of everybody as our young generation is reciting Sanskritic shlokas, learning our culture, heritage, values. Big congratulations to Anamika ji and Gurukulam Parivar for doing a wonderful job. We are proud to be associated with the Sangh Parivar from childhood when I was a 5-year-old. And as a Sangh Adhikari in this Kenya Vibhag Kareva, I've been able to calculate our cultural values, characters in young students, which is the right way of preserving our cultural value and it is in future. I have got a lot of messages. His Excellency the High Commissioner of India to Kenya, Dr. Virendra Kumar Paul, he has just texted me. I was in touch with him and he says, passed his greetings to all the Indian diaspora in South Africa and Africa as a whole on the occasion of Amrit Mahotsav. He is very much pleased. He was a part of yoga celebration when we did on 21st June. He sent out his message during that and I was expecting a message, but he could not make it. He's on leave in India, but he is still with us, not physically, but culturally, voluntarily, and nationally. He's with us. His thoughts are with us. So greetings from him. I also communicated to His Excellency, the High Commissioner of India in Tanzania and Uganda, Shri Ajay Kumar ji and Shri Sunil ji. Both of them expressed their congratulations for a well-deserved celebration as Africa. And I'm feeling very proud to be our vision of Prime Minister, a vision of Bharat Mata, Vasudev Kutumbakam. We have achieved Yashika ji today with the help of Gurukulam Parivar, Anamika ji and Mrs. Joshi, who are really working hard to upbring our cultural values in these young kids. And they are the future of our Dharma who can carry on the flag of Hinduism in all over the world. With these few words, I would like to express my greetings to our young sons and the daughters for well performed. Some have done in 2 weeks' time, some have done in 2 months' time, and the way during the pandemic, I think this is a great asset to us that through the Zoom or through the StreamYard, we are able to get connected. We have never met physically to anybody, but we are culturally collected. Heritage, our heritage is the same, our values are the same, our goal is one. Let Bharat be Vishwa Guru in this coming century, and we should play our part and parcel. As Prime Minister has put today morning, we should make an effort. We do the prayas to win the heart of everybody in that diaspora, and we are ready to serve. As Swami Vivekananda said, service of humanity is worship of God. The same way, Lokmanya Tilak, the great freedom fighter who says, "Tum mujhe स्वराज्य मेरा जन्म सिद्ध अधिकार है." Freedom is my birthright. The same way, we have to prevent our protect our culture, heritage, values, to keep on moving the flag of Hinduism, nationalism, and commitment to our national values and to become Bharat Vishwa Guru. Bharat Mata ki jai, Vishwa Dharma ki jai, Hindu Dharma ki jai, Jai Hind, Bharat Mata ki jai. Namaskar, सबको
भारत
प्रणाम.
माता की जय और विश्व धर्म की जय. बहुत धन्यवाद, Vimal ji. Before you go, I think I'd like to ask you a question, and I'm sure Reggie ji as well. Vimal ji, you have been such an instrument of guidance, of support to all of us, and especially me. And I really want to say thank you so much for your love, your kindness, your patience in every way. We've journeyed together with all these wonderful, national and international days since the day of the Havan. And you've been such a sense of support, and we really would like to put our arms, hands together and say dhanyavad for all that you do. Being a representative, outside of Bharat, learning and getting in touch with the different, Indian structures and communities outside of Bharat. What does it do for you today when you are standing now celebrating the 75 years of independence, of colonial rule, of suffering? India has been through so much of change, and yet it still continues to progress and share with us such wonderful examples of change. What is it that you're feeling right now?
Yashika ji, thank you very much for a compliment. We really feel proud of it. The cultural values which Indians are carrying out wherever they go. We say, कुछ बात है कि ऐसी हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी, हिंदू है हम, हिंदुस्तान हमारा. That vision, that mission, which we cultural values, wherever we go, any part of the world, we are going with our rich cultural values. We practice our Hinduism. We go to the temples. We do the prayers. We do the upwas. We celebrate our festivals like Navratri, Deepavali, Dashera, Ganesh Chaturthi, all those Guru Puja, Guru Purnima, Navratri, Sri Ram Navami, Holi, all festivals we celebrate that bind us together. And one thing I have noted, outside Bharat, we are very more active than what we could have been in India. Because, as we said, in childhood we used to hear, घर के बाहर जाते ही हालचाल पता लगता है. So when we come out of the house from the comfort zone, when you come exposed to the world of God, and our great values, our culture, our talent comes out very boldly, and you can mix with not with many societies. Like in Kenya, we are mixing with Bengali societies, Malayalam, Telugu Samaj, Maharashtra Mandal, Rajasthan Association, local Kenyans, and I'm proud to be associated with the local Kenyans. I sit in the various boards in this country. I've been a municipal councillor, like Nagar Sevak, like in India, we say municipal councillor for 5 years. So I've really interacted, and it gives a chance of, as I said, Swami Vivekananda said in the beginning, service of humanity is worship of God. This is our small contribution as a human being we can give to the world by serving the society at large, and also encouraging others to be role models in the society, because we always talk of the role models. Role models are human being, but a role model is a true Indian, true cultural ambassadors. As a High Commissioner said the other day, that our community, our Indian diaspora, is a true cultural ambassador of India to the world. Wherever they go, they carry the values, they carry the message of India: love, peace, and unity. We never attack, we love. We give food. Look at the pandemic time. We produce vaccines and we give it to the world free. Look at it. We have saved, India has saved a lot of lives. Look at that positivity of this. And as Modi ji has said today morning, that we have saved a lot of lives, and being the largest democracy in the world, people are thinking many people will leave the world. Although he said we have lost many people in this world, but still we are able to save many lives, despite the second wave was really hurt the world. That was in April, May, when India was very much hurt, other countries were hurt. But we come out of it as a strong nation, strong Bharat, Let us hope for the wish, Guru. Namaste.
Well,
Vishwa Dharma ki jai.
Dr. Vimal, you've been an inspiration, supporting us in all our programs, where you've been there in the working committee. And that is what's given us as a team the strength to move forward. I can imagine the number of meetings we have held. You were there always to advise us, to assist us, and encourage us. So thank you so much. Thank you very much for doing this. What brings about this sustaining your energy for growing Hinduism? Where you get it from?
Now we have a very major challenge with us. We have to get Africa united, and like 55 all the countries in Africa, we want to bring them on board. That will be our next challenge, and we make sure one by one we bring them on board and we're able to get them together and able to show Africa as a unit, one complete unit of aggressively working to protect and promote our cultural values of Hinduism in the world. As Modi ji has put it in 2017, his visit to Uganda, he says we are going to work on 10 issues to promote Africa and investment in Africa. And that is in his heart. I will share the pamphlet of what the Prime Minister Modi ji has said in Kampala 2 years ago. I attended, I was privileged to attend both the oath ceremony in Delhi in 2014 and 2019. Both the time I was invited as overseas friend of BJP representative in Kenya and East Africa, and proud to be part and parcel of the Society of Change, where we have a dynamic leader, Shri Modi ji, and we get inspiration from him. And one thing I will mention here, he mentioned in his speech today, we have to be vocal for the locals. We raise the issue of the local community, bring their ambassador, also as an ambassador of India. Same way, we also have to raise the issue for the local community. So we become leadership in the local community, and local community start recognizing us, and we take the leadership and we play our part as a social worker, as a Hindu Sangh, Vishwa Hindu Parishad, World Hindu Federation, whichever name we use, Vanvasi Kalyashram, or Gurukulam Parivar, any Swadhyaya Parivar, whichever we can use, Hare Krishna, whichever moment you use, the end of the day is we are projecting Hinduism at heart. Jai Hind, Vishwa Dharma ki Jai.
Wow, that is wonderful. That's really wonderful. Thank you so much. And as said before, thank you for your inspiration.
So let us, Yashika ji, as I said, our challenge is get all the Africa united. Next time we target 20 countries or 30 countries out of 55. We bring them, whatever, all the representative, we can have a Zoom meeting. We discuss and look for a very good program. Maybe on Deepavali or Navratri, we can do something, or Ganesh Chaturthi.
Fantastic.
Yes, I think so too. I think it will be excellent in order to participate and to link up. You know, I was just telling Anamika ji, we only met a few days ago online, and it's like, she's already a Ben in my home because that's the connection that we were able to have. And I think, the universe plays a lot of tricks with us. It gives us the most difficult thing to deal with, like the COVID situation. And yet at the same time, it wants us to work together. It wants us to join together and say, we can do this. We can push ourselves a little bit in order to bring people together and to bring these wonderful children that we've had in studio today. And, with that, Anamika ji, perhaps you can talk about the kids and, share with us their names, and their ages a little bit while Vimalji is in studio.
Yes, Yashika Ben. After the patriotic song, we got into the discussion of patriotism. So I missed, congratulating the children and, mentioning their names. So the name of the children are Achal, Atreya, Bansuri, Radha, and Om. And they are all between the age group 8 years to 13 years. And I thank all of them once again for performing and singing so nicely.
Fantastic.
That's absolutely incredible. They were so diligent for all this time, in spite of our technical issues, etc. And they've just been absolutely amazing to come through. Vimalji, what are the chances of, and Anita Ben is not here, but what are the next steps that we could work with Agastya Gurukulam in terms of teaching? And, how do we then take institutions like that forward? We don't have something like that in South Africa, yet we do have lots of Hindu schools. We teach Hindu studies, we teach our languages. A lot of us lost the language over a period of time because being 4, 5, 6, 7 generation, and how do we then? But we still maintained our traditions and culture. We still maintained the philosophy that links us back, to Bharat. How do we then, bring this and bring the Agastya Gurukulam back to South Africa and to Kenya and to other places, Vimalji? How would you say we can take that forward?
Yashika ji, it is very simple. We can do it because we have a Hindu Swayansemak Sangh, which is RSS group in world, and through that, even in Kenya, we are running the Gurukulam for the small kids under 10, under 15. We have a Sevika Samiti all over the world, Rashtriya Sevika Samiti. Under that, we can do some lot of programs. So what we need to do, like we are recently we started Sanskrit classes from Dubai. We had somebody from our one of the pracharak who was teaching Sanskrit online. I think maybe Anamika is aware of him, and he is based in Dubai. So what we can do, we can just link up with Anamika ji. We can get her guidance with Anita ji. We can go talk to Parvesh ji and Amit Singh ji in South Africa. We can create a chapter in each whichever countries we can able to. Maybe by December we say let us first create in Kenya and South Africa first, and then we can get in Nigeria 3 countries. Even our brother Sanjay Srivastava ji is also very active. Plus also in Mauritius, we have a lot of people, our community also. So we can target 4 to 5 countries by December. If we can succeed in 2 countries, Kenya and South Africa first, then we can be a role model. And with the help of Anamika ji, Joshi ji, we can able to move faster. And it is possible. Nothing is impossible. Where there is a will, there is a way. जहाँ हमारी इच्छा शक्ति है, हम संगठन से, संघर्ष से हम आगे बढ़ेंगे. अनामिका जी, आपको बहुत बहुत अभिनंदन. बहुत अच्छा काम कर रही हैं आप. रियली बच्चों ने बहुत टच किया हमारे हृदय को और हम बहुत प्रसन्न हैं.
बहुत बहुत हृदय से धन्यवाद विमल जी. इतने शॉर्ट स्पैन में हम लोग ये प्रेजेंट कर पाए. आई थिंक 10 दिन, और जिस तरह का क्विक कोऑर्डिनेशन हम लोगों ने किया है. आप लोग भी 3.5, यू आर ऑल्सो 3.5 hours behind, but it was amazing coordination from the entire team. Yashika Ben, Reji ji, Anita ji, who actually got connected with me initially, and she proposed to have something in association with Agastya Gurukulam, and I thought, yes, why not, because so this is a wonderful occasion. Imagine 75th Independence Day. It's memorable for me as an individual and as an organization for Agastya Gurukulam. So it is amazing, and let's have a lifelong
Anamika ji,
association. Why not? And serve the families who want and want to do something for the children.
Anamika ji,
We'll plan.
अनामिका जी,
जी,
यशिका जी, मैं सोच रही थी कि मेरे अभी बैठे बैठे जैसे अनामिका जी बोल रही थी, तो हम 2 अक्टूबर को जो महात्मा गांधी जी का जो बर्थडे है और इंटरनेशनल नॉन वायलेंस डे है, तो why can't we get all the kids together and speak something about Mahatma Gandhi ji and his struggle towards India? for the freedom and his role with South Africa. I think we
जी
can give
बिल्कुल
the food for thought to the kids so they can talk about it and his life, and also we can try to get some students from South Africa, also from Kenya, so they can all talk about him on his Mahatma Gandhi's
Yeah, I think
Absolutely, Vimal ji. Sky is the limit. Actually, हमारे पास इतना we have so much to give, to our children, so much. So let's make use of each and every opportunity and spread the culture and history of Bharat across the globe, and be united and strengthen ourselves as a community. And I will just check with the academic director of Agastya Gurukulam what is their plan, if any exams are coming up or something, whether children will be able to practice or not. Otherwise, we'll get the speeches recorded, like how we did today also, if not live, if the children will be busy. And definitely we can do something along with the children in South Africa.
yes, definitely. Fantastic.
Absolutely. Yes,
Yes, yes.
absolutely.
Thank you
That's a
so
beautiful
much,
idea.
Anamika ji and Vimal ji.
Thank you.
It's been absolutely amazing having you guys as guests in our studio and also showcasing practically what are the things that's possible. And I think I like the idea of celebrating our icons and making sure people know who they are. Who was Bhagat Singh? Who were the heroes of India? People only know one or two types of narratives. And I think it has to change, and it has to change with the youth. Reggie, on that point of changing narratives, before we say goodbye to our guests and say thank you.
Well, firstly, I would like to thank Anita ji. Approached her and asked her to get involved in a training session. And then she said, well, let us postpone it to today or the 75th birthday. And she said, let us bring in Anamaki ji to the program. And this whole thing was supposed to be a small session, and it went fivefold bigger than ever one. So I thank the team of people like Lakshji, Sarojbai, Anita ji, Anamika, and especially also to you, Yashika. You produce and you direct, and you have so much of vigor that you do so much of good in our programs itself, and you keep us alive. You are a great inspiration to us. So thank you very much as well. Putting this whole program together has been a huge challenge, and without you leading us, it would have been a very difficult process. So thank you very, very much to the entire team. Very much. You put a lot of effort into this thing and made this thing happen. You made it happen. Thank you very much.
Well done.
We did have a lot of technical issues, unfortunately, so I do apologize. And there's no need to thank, because we are all in it together and we are learning. I suppose that's what technology does. It teaches us, these lessons. But let's not stop here in terms of our relationship and building the bigger parivar. I think that's more important. We now come to the end of our program, and I'd really would like to thank everyone for their contribution, from the tiniest little boys and girls, to the youth, to the moms and dads, to the grandparents, to everyone that's been part of it. And it showed very simply there is unity in strength, and that's what we were able to do today. So thank you again, Vimalji. Thank you, Anamika ji. Thank you, Reggie. Yes,
Yashika ji, before you close, we say Vande Matram. Let us sing together. Vande Mataram, Sujalam, Safalam, Malaya Shitalam, Shasya Samalam, Mataram, Vande Mataram. भारत माता की जय, विश्व धर्म की जय। सबका धन्यवाद।
भारत माता की जय।
सबको 75 वर्ष की शुभकामनाएं। अपना ध्यान रखें, कोविड की वजह से मास्क लगा के रखें, कोविड के प्रोटोकॉल को पालन करें। आपका जीवन ज्यादा हमारे लिए सुरक्षित चाहिए। आप सभी प्रसन्न रहें, सुखी रहें।
आज के आनंद की जय।
निश्चित रूप से अनामिका जी ने वो कुछ बात है कि हस्ती मिटती नहीं हमारी। हम लाए हैं तूफान से किश्ती निकाल के, इस देश को रखना मेरे बच्चों को संभाल के। जो आपने बच्चों के अंदर संस्कार डाला है, रियली दैट इज गोइंग टू टेक केयर ऑफ आवर किश्ती भारत की। ठीक, नमस्कार।
Thank you so much. Namaskar, Vinodji. Namaste, Yashika ji, Reji ji, to entire team. Namaste. We'll be in touch.
Thank
And
you very much.
proud of
Now,
Anita ji ke proud of her. She's left.
Yes, thank you very much. We now go to the thank you video. And
ஹர ஹர மாதேவ தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி எனாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி. அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி தனிப்பெரும் கருணை அருட்பெரும் ஜோதி. கல்லா பிழையும் கருதா பிழையும் கசுந்துருகி நில்லா பிழையும் நினையா பிழையும் நினைந்தொழுத்தை சொல்லா பிழையும் துதியா பிழையும் தோழா பிழையும் எல்லாம் பிழைகளையும் பொறுத்தருள்வாய் கச்சியகம்பனே திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஓம் சாந்தி சாந்தி சாந்தி.